Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel on this beautiful sunny Thursday. What a day, I tell you. Beautiful outside. I mean, the mountains are just glowing. That's how beautiful it is. But we're in the afternoon now. I don't know exactly what time it is. Had a busy day this morning, busy morning. But listen, I wanted to talk to you about a movie I watched yesterday. For the first time. It's been out for a long time, actually, this movie is. It came out on Netflix in the United States, and it was Sgt Will Gardner, I think is what it's called, with Max Martini. It took me about 5 hours to watch that movie because I kept turning it off. It was just really the topic wasn't what I expected. I didn't know exactly what to expect when I watched the movie. A friend of mine hooked me up with being able to watch it online, and it just... yeah, it was hard to watch. Just really just hit, I guess, a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that that I think a lot of us have gone through and are going through, and especially those of us who've served. And yeah, anyway, it was a pretty tough movie. And one thing I liked about the movie was actually I found out that it was his son playing his son in the movie, which I thought was really interesting. The little redheaded boy playing his son was actually his son. So that was really cool. And to be honest with you, a lot of the acting wasn't that over the top great. The storyline sometimes like the blonde that he was, who thought he was Cranston, I didn't think that she was that great of an actress, but yeah, that part of the story was sort of weird. Maybe I could have come up with something a little better than that. But the actress that played his ex-wife, I've always liked her. She's a beautiful lady. And, of course, you had a few other actors and actresses in it that were actually well-known that was in that movie also. Of course, Gary Sinise was in it, And then, of course, the actor that played his partner, who we didn't find out until later on in the movie. I sort of figured it was, but he was a ghost, And... he was a good actor, actually. He was a much more compelling actor, I thought, in the movie. They could have... I didn't think the movie was that great, the way it was put together. I mean, the whole idea that, he wasn't a perfect character, he wasn't a perfect person, and I thought that was quite believable. But the story with the Marine, I thought that was a little bit, who lost his leg. His story was good, but I don't think the character was that interesting. It could have been much better, I think, and it would have been a much better movie if maybe he would have met him in the beginning of the movie, and their journey together. They could have left out the crazy blonde, who quit her job. They could have left her completely out of it, But and then him stealing the motorcycle, I didn't think that was very interesting either. Of course, the actor that played the owner of that motorcycle, yeah, that whole scene right there didn't seem very compelling. I don't think. I mean, yeah, sure, people get screwed over all the time, especially by people like that, But I think that yeah, the guy wasn't too worried about losing the motorcycle because in the end, yeah, he reported it, but the insurance company probably paid him off, so he was okay with that. And leaving his bag and his money there, I thought that was a little bit, your wallet. Not putting in your pocket, putting it in the bag on the motorcycle. I thought that was a little bit kooky also, but, you never know, But the story around the character wasn't that compelling. But what was really, and then, of course, I didn't think that the war scenes were that compelling either. The fighting was very compelling either. But, I think they could have done that a little differently also. It could have been a much better movie if the storyline would have been a little bit better. I didn't mind the storyline around the character and his struggles. Like I said, it did put up a lot of thoughts in my own mind, which was tough. It was tough to watch, I would say. But in general, the movie wasn't that great. But it could have been made better. And I think that's a problem that I've seen with lots of good movies is that, what they're trying to do, present a topic with this movie. They just didn't have the budget or I don't know what to have done a better job with it. It could have been so much better. If, and I'm sure this was done on a shoestring budget. I'm sure that, and the actors and actresses who were in it, I think there are people who are also much more compelled to help the plight, you know, that that the VA system has really made a mess of, the government's made a mess of, these continued wars, and then what's happened to the men and women who've come back from them, you know. I think would have been a really interesting story would have been a story about a woman who come back after the war. That we haven't seen yet. A woman who's come back from the war and try to put her life back together again, you know, after seeing what she's seen. I think that would be a much more interesting, you know, a much more interesting story, actually. Not that I have anything against seeing a dude, you know. I mean, that's what we normally, we put war together with, but I think that Hollywood's missing out on this. And I don't think Hollywood's going to do any justice. They can't make a big, huge buck off of it, but they're not supporting the stories well enough. I mean, we've got some great stories out there that should be made into movies, like you know, the Battle for Tora Bora and the Roberts Ridge, and you know, the Leroy Petrie Medal of Honor winner, his story, and of course the story of the Battle of Fallujah and the medals that have come out of that. And then we have so many other men and their fighting, you know. There's more that could easily be done, you know, for the War on Terror's storyline, I'd say. Of course, they've made some interesting movies, you know, when it comes to, you know, to get Bin Laden, this kind of stuff like that, you know, but there's a lot more that can be done better, you know, and I hope that we see more of that. Also, maybe even a character who's not just fought in Afghanistan and Iraq, but also in the Pacific, in the Philippines and stuff, against the JA. There are more stories that could be come out of it. Anyway, but let's get back to this movie. I think it was an okay movie. And I think that it did point out some interesting points, but I think a lot more could be done with it. And I congratulate Max Martini. I like him as a character actor. He's been in lots of movies. He's done a lot of things, I think, for the veteran community. And of course, Gary Sinise. I mean, he's just he's done so much for our community. But I'd like to see more. I'd like to see a whole lot more. And I think it's something we could do more about, you know. But it's going to take more in the Hollywood side, I guess, to do more about it. But anyway, listen, just a little thing, you know. I mean, look, like I said, yesterday was a pretty tough day for me because I just I was really down in the, you know, I got this movie the night before and thought, yeah, I can't wait to see this. And I've been wanting to see it for a year, you know, and because I like Max Martini. And then I was let down a bit by the storyline, I would say, but also it was enough to really put my mind into a place it shouldn't be. But anyway, thank you for coming to the channel. If you like this little video, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, then just leave a comment. do whatever you like, you know, but share, subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you for the support. And I hope to hear back from you soon. And I'll try to keep making some more positive videos, I would say, in the near future. Anyway, thanks again. And I hope you all have a very good evening. And I'll talk to you very soon. Goodbye.